What's up, everybody? This is Trini Kid, and we're back. Today we're gonna be I'm gonna be doing the subscriber matches, but right after this video, I wanted to talk about something a little serious and near and dear to me. As you see right here, this is about every top face or near top face in the company. You know, Daniel Bryan, the World Heavyweight Champion, Randy Orton. I mean, he's like what, the second biggest face in the company. You have Sheamus. A very huge face, gets a decent pop every time he comes out. You have the Big Show, who is contending for the World Heavyweight Championship, so you got to be a top face if you're contending for it. I think, you know, for at least for a pay-per-view. And you have John Cena, who's like the biggest face in the company. He's the face of the company. And the guy who's trying to be the next face, CM Punk, the current WWE champion. And I want to talk about the state of the WWE, my feelings and such, while I kick people's ass. It's funny, this says a 6-man battle royale over the top rope. I actually adjusted it so it's a straight up battle royal, so we will not see any over the top rope action. Kind of funny seeing that the Royal Rumble is coming up. And I'll be doing a Royal Rumble, an actual Royal Rumble match soon. Probably this weekend, and get that out the way. My pick for Royal Rumble, either Chris Jericho or Randy Orton. But let's get to this.
The following contest is a 6-man battle royal. Introducing first, from Dublin, Ireland.
Dublin, friggin' Ireland.
172 pounds.
I guess we'll start off with Sheamus. As of right now, don't disregard the crowd booing him. I guess WWE Universe hated him for some reason. But anyway, or are they cheering? I can't even tell. Anyway, Sheamus, I would think after destroying so many mid-card heels, even the Miz at one point, I would think he would, you know, be in contention for the World Heavyweight Championship, but not yet, because, you know, he's been in no man's land so far, and it's very weird. But hopefully this year he goes up for a major title. Now we have Big Show. To all the Big Show fans, if there are any Big Show fans watching this video, I do not personally have a vendetta against him. I don't hate him. I just, like, whenever he comes in a match, more or less a pay-per-view match, I don't go expecting, you know, a Ric Flair, you know, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart 5-star match. You know what I mean? I don't expect that type of stuff. I expect, you know, at best probably like what, a 10-minute brawl, 3 stars. And I'm not even trying to like downplay him, because, you know, he's done great things. He's been out even before the Attitude Era, because he was with he was the Giant in WCW. You know, I'm not trying to like put a damper on his career. It's just that, you know, on the mic he's good for his character. For me, I just, you know, I would like better in ring. Want to come out from a pay-per-view saying, "Wow, did you see that Big Show match?" Aside from, you know, destroying the ring, but you know what I mean. And speaking of in-ring work, talk about this guy right here, man. This guy has went from, in my opinion, and I'm a Randy Orton fan, Randy Borton. A lot of people dubbed him that name because he was quite boring in the ring. You know, I don't know. I guess because my opinion was that the reason he was so boring in the ring was because he was so used to wrestling as a heel, all slow and methodical. Now he's actually really gotten to the groove of wrestling as a babyface. So that's good. That's why his matches have what's the word I'm looking for? Gotten a lot better, improved. That's what I'm looking for. Has improved a lot more. So, and thank God, I think, did I? Yes, I edited his entrance here because I felt it looked a little better. It's basically Randy Orton up until this point. Doesn't do that stupid updated pose that THQ gave him with. He actually does it beautifully here, so that's like the ending part of his Legend Killer pose. You can edit it in the entrance editor, basically. I think he's Superstar 23, so look for that. So that's that. Randy Orton has improved a lot. Now, if you could just get as a better, more charismatic on the mic, he would be probably, and I'm still hoping maybe even, you know, face of the company. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I like these segues. I didn't even mean to do the segue, but speaking of face of the company, John Cena. I have these random segues. I didn't even know. I could have put him with the current attire, meaning he had the camo pants and the black wristbands, but I felt it didn't go well with his shirt because you can't edit his shirt. Or can you? Yes, you can. I'm a freaking idiot. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I just had epiphany. But anyway, face of the company, not too much bad there, but you know, his character's gotten stale. In ring, he turns it on big match situations like CM Punk versus Shawn Michaels. So maybe he'll have a character change, maybe he won't, but you know, we'll see. I'll talk about that more later. And we have Daniel Bryan, the World Heavyweight Champion. I put him as top babyface, even though a lot of you would agree that he might be turning heel due to his actions on SmackDown. He's been acting, quote-unquote, like an asshole on SmackDown, so, you know. But I'm featuring the champions last, unlike what the bookers in WWE would like to do, especially with this guy. This guy's been booked as a mid-carder, even though he's the WWE champion as of late. He's been put mid-card in comparison to what, John Cena, who doesn't even have the WWE championship. Yet, he's main eventing with 6-man tag matches, which I'm pretty sure, and most of you would agree, would, I guess, his drawing power would contribute to his placing on the card. Now, a lot of people have debated over this, but the ratings, I'm not going to talk about the whole show, just CM Punk's ratings just by itself doesn't outshine John Cena. So therefore, you know, I'm guessing they're putting it more who draws more and who would bring more money, and, you know, who's a bigger focus, and that's John Cena in comparison to CM Punk. So they're going to put the biggest draw at the end of the show. Is that what you're supposed to do? I don't know. If you think of it from a business standpoint, yeah, that might make sense. But you can't always rely on John Cena 24/7 when things go bad. You know, you got to build up a new top guy sooner or later. I mean, WWE survived for a time without Hulk Hogan. I mean, things were bad. I mean, 1997 ratings were down, you know what I mean? But you got to entrust somebody else sooner or later, because you got to admit, Cena's not always going to be there. He is going to get old. And, I don't know. But the thing is, the ratings haven't gone significantly up since. I mean, the last Raw did a 2.8 something ratings, which isn't too friggin' spectacular when you compare it to other ratings. I mean, other shows that have done a lot better. So I don't know. Raw, this past Raw, I don't know what to say. Like, it was more or less horrific in my opinion. You had a freaking horror show one moment, then you had highlight of the night, and it didn't even have to do with John Cena or CM Punk. It was the Funkasaurus Brodus Clay. The Funkasaurus Brodus Clay. And I gotta say, I'm mixed on that. I didn't like it, yet I liked it. I didn't like it because I was expecting something more. I was expecting something serious, yet I liked it because it was freaking hilarious. It was freaking hilarious. If you watch the match again, somebody says to Brodus, "You suck," and Brodus is like, "Oh, my bad." Oh, my bad. Yo, it was hilarious, man, yet bad at the same time. It was, I don't know what to say. It was the highlight of the night, and that's pretty sad, seeing that I was more or less a mid-card, a bottom-card type thing, compared to John Cena and friggin' this thing they have with Kane and John Laurinaitis and CM Punk. So if that's more noteworthy than main event storylines, then something's really bad. You know, you need to be walking away from Raw saying, wow, did you see what CM Punk did? Or did you see what John Cena did? Or Kane or something like that? And friggin' Chris Jericho. See, some people don't get it. I'm like, oh, you don't get it. It's great. It's genius. Here's the thing. Chris Jericho, in my opinion, right now is trying to come off as a face, or WWE wants you to believe he's a face. He's a heel trying to do some underhanded shit. Some people didn't get that by now. I got it after the first time he came on. I was like, wait, something's not clicking here. Why isn't he saying anything? And it was actually pissing me off. I'm like, talk, dude. And he's not talking, so... Oh, that was mine, dude. What the hell? But hopefully, I'm hoping he talks next Raw. Because if he doesn't talk by then I'm really, like, I really don't care anymore. And I just gave up on the whole angle. I'm not very patient, and I know a lot of wrestling fans aren't patient either. He needs to start talking quite soon, and I'm hoping either... I'm hoping it's this Raw coming, because he needs to start talking. Say what he needs to. Rumor has it he is going to be in a feud with CM Punk sooner or later, and it'd be nice. Both are great on the mic. I could expect the friggin' mic work will be on par with you know, freaking legendary confrontations, you know what I mean? And their in-ring work, both are insanely great in the ring, so I wouldn't put anything past them.
But next time Daniel Bryan's down, he might not be able to escape.
Oh, you want to steal mine, Big Wait, no, who stole my kill? I don't know. But I stole yours, so suck it.
Why you really don't like Daniel Bryan? What did he steal?
Oh, back to John Cena. Anyway, that's Raw. Now, in terms of SmackDown, a lot would agree because I've heard it a lot. SmackDown is the better show. Even though ratings won't show it, SmackDown is the better show, and I think the ratings won't show it due to the fact that a lot of people don't watch it, me included sometimes, because you already know the outcome if you watch spoilers, and I'm one of those douchebag bastards who watches the spoilers and spoils it for themselves. I don't always do it, but I do sometimes, and sometimes meaning I should say half the time. That's what I do. You know, and I spoil it for myself. If it was live, I'm pretty sure it would do a lot better. Noteworthy thing, Raw did better in ratings when it went away from being a taped show back in the 90s. Was it back in the 90s? I think it was back in the 90s. I have to do my research more while I get my ass kicked here. But beyond the tapings and all that stuff, it's a better show because I feel they give the young talent more room to shine. Like, for example, Cena fell off the top rope. Like, look at Drew McIntyre, for example. Before he went to Raw, well, now he's back on SmackDown. Before all that, before he went to Raw and got drafted to Raw, he was a big deal on SmackDown. He was a huge deal on SmackDown. Now he went to Raw, and you don't really even see him. He's on freaking Superstars, and now he's in an angle where he's about to get fired by Teddy Long. You know, I don't get it. And look at John Morrison. John Morrison was like main event talent on SmackDown. He goes to Raw and gets, well, he doesn't get instantly buried because, you know, he gets buried later because of backstage stuff. Oh, I got rid of Daniel Bryan. Ring of Honor fans are going to be pissed off. But I mean, he was better presented, in my opinion. Oh, I get rid of freaking Cena, dude. He was better presented on SmackDown. He was taken more seriously, in my opinion, on SmackDown.
And indeed, he is just that. CM Punk thinking.
But yeah, that's part of the reason why. Then you have, you know,
did you hear that?
A lot. Well, let's put it this way: aside from your rare good match on Raw and CM Punk, because CM Punk usually puts on a great match on Raw. Usually, CM Punk has the best match on Raw. But aside from that, there's a lot of noteworthy matches you can say you've seen on SmackDown, whether it's a Randy Orton or Wade Barrett or Cody Rhodes match or a Daniel Bryan match, you know what I mean? There's always something good to see. It feels more like a wrestling show on that brand, not just like a freaking drama on like Days of Our Lives or some shit.
Same as the Celtic Warrior. Yeah, this guy's barbaric.
It's not so promo heavy or segment heavy, you know what I mean? There's actual decent wrestling for most of the show, and you gotta love that. I love that about SmackDown. I will blatantly say SmackDown has been, you know, a better show.
Have you ever been over to Big Show?
Oh, Jesus.
His cereal bowl has a lifeguard.
And on top of that, you have Mark Henry, monster freaking heel. Love his in-ring work. I've jumped on that bandwagon, that Mark Henry bandwagon, and have never looked back. You know, I was rooting for Mark Henry when he went against Randy Orton. And I'm a huge Randy Orton supporter, so. Oh, Anaconda Vice. Sheamus tapped. Beautiful.
And there's the submission. This might be it. Look at him trying to use.
So I don't know. A lot of stuff is good in WWE, but more stuff is bad. Let's put it that way. Because if it wasn't as good, I mean, if there was more noteworthy good stuff, then the Raw rating would be up, in my opinion. You know, better storylines, friggin' match work would be on par, like all the friggin' time, in my opinion. Freaking, what is it? Titles would mean a lot more. You know, the WWE champion would be the main focus like it used to be, like he used to be, instead of just being a mid-card because he doesn't draw as much as your other, you know, go-to guy.
Big Show squeezing down on the head.
You know, Cody Rhodes said he brought prestige and stuff back to the Intercontinental Championship. I kind of feel that, yet I kind of don't. Because since he said that, you know, he's only really defended against, what was it, Booker T. And he actually put on a great match against Booker T. So, to his credit, you know, another reason to watch SmackDown.
Nearly 500 pounds is the world's largest athlete, the Big Show.
You know, the thing about freaking Big Show in this game is it takes like freaking everything but the kitchen sink to put this guy down, I swear. I remember I punted and RKO'd this guy, and he would not freaking stay down.
You know, CM Punk likes to play it being Surgeon General.
I got your back, CM Punk. No, I don't.
In the ring against Punk is plenty bad for your health.
What's going on? Let's see who wins between the both of you.
And there are those biting, icy eyes.
The venomous eye of Randy Orton. Venomous eyes look same shit.
What is going through?
I have the commentary pegged.
Well, we never know. And quite frankly,
lastly, this is the last thing I want to say. There's a lot of people that I see is like, oh, the Attitude Era was better, the Attitude Era was this, the Attitude Era was that. And one thing that HBK said that stood out to me was that, you know, in his interview, it was very recent, I'm subscribed to him. Subscribe to him, by the way, the real Shawn Michaels, I think that's his name. He said, if you're creative enough and you have enough passion or whatever and have enough talent, you can survive in any era, and that's quite true. I mean, Bret the Hitman Hart wasn't in the Attitude Era, but he's known as one of the greatest of all time. He was in the New Generation era. Friggin', what the fudge? Seriously? What's his name? I'm saying what's his name? Shawn Michaels, one of the greatest of all time, to me the greatest of all time, survived not in the Attitude Era, even though I did see him in the Attitude Era, by the way. But he didn't survive in the Attitude Era. He wasn't in the Attitude Era. Yet you can survive. It's not like it's impossible. That's what he's trying to say.
This is where Orton becomes.
Same thing here. If you have enough passion and you're athletic enough and you know, can bring your A game all the time, 100%, 24/7, in and out, you can survive in any era. And that's what HBK is trying to get across.
Oh my God, what a slam by Randy.
So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go punt the voice of the voices here. I know a lot of internet fans are going to get pissed off, but, you know, that's just me. Yes. Shimmy. Yes. Alright, now I'm going to pin him.
Shoulders down. 1, 2, 3.
That's that. But I just wanted to, you know, share my points. There's always going to be a down point in WWE's history, or WWF, or whatever you want to call it, in wrestling's history. There's always going to be high points, low points. This is one of those low points. Very much a low point. You know, there's good areas here and there, but, you know, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be improved upon. And I only have the best hope. I only have, you know, the highest hopes for WWE. Hopefully they can improve a little bit. You know, sustain a rating on Raw of higher than 3 consistently, and not just dip under. Because, you know, they need more time to improve on their talent. You know, here's the thing that people would realize or don't realize about the Attitude Era is that the whole card was stacked. Everybody was good on the card. There was always somebody you wanted to see, whether it was Edge or Christian, Team Extreme, Rikishi, Triple H, and then you had the figureheads, The Rock and Austin, and it was always great to see. Even the Divas division, you had Lita, you had Sable, you had Trish Stratus. There was always somebody you wanted to see, you know? So, like, nowadays, people would skip past people, you know what I mean? The Divas division, just skip past that. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see a 1-minute match that's probably been done over and over and over, you know? So, WWE has to get to the point where a viewer will want to see the entire show, not just DVR the thing or just skip through the thing. And another thing, the DVR might be hurting ratings too, because you just want to record it. But you want to have that notion that this is something you don't want to wait to see. You know what I mean? You want to see it as soon as it happens. Like when The Rock came back, I don't want to see that recorded the day after. I want to see it right when it's happening. You know, make it greater. But WWE just needs their talent to be great across the board, you know what I mean? SmackDown more or less has that. That's why people view it as the better show. Raw doesn't quite have that. Where on SmackDown you have Wade Barrett, you have Sheamus, you have freaking Daniel Bryan, you have Cody Rhodes, Booker T off and on, you have Mark Henry, you have Big Show, you have the Viper Randy Orton, you have this whole squad of great talents. If I missed anyone, I'm so sorry. But you have a straight card of, you know, great talents and a decent show, even without Randy Orton, because he's out right now. You know what I mean? There's always something to see. Raw, I mean, it's not Dolph Ziggler, CM Punk, Cena, Kane, Zack Ryder, the end. The end. Everything else was not as noteworthy or something you wouldn't walk away from, you know, talking about the next day. But that's it. I just want to get my feelings across. I'm a huge WWE fan, and I have the highest hopes for it. Maybe it'll improve this year. Hopefully it will improve this year. So that's that. Another thing, after all this, people wonder why CM Punk hasn't been featured more, or wonder why, you know, CM Punk wouldn't get taken over as the face of the company. Here's the thing. Back in the day, I know I'm like running things. It's not any more action. I just want to say this one more thing. Back in the day, Austin was able to turn heel. Why? Because they can bank on The Rock to still carry the brand, to still carry the WWF as the top face. So Austin was able to turn because there's always a backup guy. There's, you know, if The Rock was heel, Austin was the face. If Austin was a heel, Rock was the face. There was always, you know, a big draw. It was a huge draw to watch, aside from, you know, the rest of the card, which was also great draws in their own right. But nowadays, you can't really do that. Well, you know what I mean? There's not much. You can't really do that. If Cena turns heel, the ratings will plummet. There's nobody who draws as much as him, because I'm pretty sure The Rock was drawing just as much as Austin, if not more than Austin. So it was easy to turn back and forth, because both were drawing a considerable amount of ratings, of profit, of money, and all that stuff. But there's only one guy currently drawing outdrawing everyone, and that's John Cena. Nobody's really to his level yet. You can say CM Punk is selling more t-shirts, but he's not. Yes, t-shirts is great and all, and so much credit goes to CM Punk for that, but you have to show ratings too. And if you're not drawing as much as John Cena, don't get me wrong, CM Punk is drawing, just not to Cena's level. Maybe not yet, but definitely not now. He's not drawing to his level, so you can't really turn. I don't know, this is just my opinion. You can't really turn him yet and have a definite backup. That's what they've always been trying to do. Well, for the past 2 years is what I've seen. You know, before you could, like, I don't know, maybe you could have done it when Triple H was there. You know, he was a big draw as well. But the thing is, that's what they've been trying to do as of late. They turned Randy Orton face back in 2010 and was like inching towards Cena being heel when he was in the new Nexus. So they had hopes that maybe Orton could be the new face of WWE. He didn't draw as much as John Cena, so they, you know, shot that plan and freaking sent him to SmackDown. Then they tried it again with CM Punk. They really had high hopes. They wanted to go full throttle with CM Punk. He's not drawing as much as John Cena, so Cena won't turn heel, even though they're having this thing with Kane that he might turn heel. I doubt he'll turn heel. And there's even talk of CM Punk possibly going to SmackDown. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's talk of that. So somebody really needs to rival him. That means they have to go too mainstream. They have to get really mainstream. You know, be a household name. Like, you have to be able to ask your mother who this person is, and she can, you know, identify with the person. I mean, I'm sure you could ask your parents right now who's The Rock and who's Stone Cold Steve Austin or who's Hulk Hogan. They will tell you right offhand who that person is. So until that person comes, whether it's CM Punk, whether it's Randy Orton, whether it's some guy that hasn't even entered the company yet, whether that person comes, expect to see Cena as the top face for a long time. Sad thing is, the WWE is in a bind because they really need somebody new because Cena has become very stale. He's attracting the casual fans, but the more hardcore wrestling fans, he is not really, you know, attracting to them too much. So that's that. That's just my opinion. Wanted to get my voice across. So that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to please comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know your opinions and all that. I don't know if I came off one side. I try to be as subjective as possible. Or, what, is subjective the right word? I have to look up the word, but you know what I mean. Less opinionated as possible. So that's just my views on things. I'm not trying to be too much of a pessimist in this category. I just hope for the best. And that's that. Let me know your views on what you know, this issue and how the WWE could get better. And that's that. I'm still gonna hold out on these subscriber matches, probably post them up on Friday. I just need about 2 more subscriber matches, and that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to please comment, rate, please do subscribe. I actually went over 650 subs. I'm getting there, 1,000. I'm getting there. So thank you everyone. I don't get to say this enough. Thanks to everyone for the support through all this. I didn't think I was going to get this far when I started back in June 2011. I started at 215. I am proudly 650 or 652. I'm not really sure there. But thank you to all who have supported me. I look at everyone's comments, both fans and trolls alike. And all those who say great job, thanks, and I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. All you guys, thank you. And that's that. Trini Kid, check you guys later.